What do my dear boys coming through once again with a new video. And on today's video, we're gonna talk about the new Folsom riot that happened on Nate Yard. I'm not familiar that much with New Folsom, but if I have to guess on this, that's gonna be a level 4, possibly a 180. So trip on this, right? So apparently around 9:56, a code 3 was declared, and where 40 inmates, 40 incarcerated individuals were involved in a riot, basically fighting with one another, right? And when this happens, man, for those who don't know, it can get a little bit crazy, right? Especially if you're not used to it. But most of those guys who are gonna be on the level 4, they're gonna be used to it. I've been in places where they have the riots with 100 people, and trust me, when there's like 100 something, it's basically most of the yard involved. And that's what, when that happens, it has to do more with ratio, instead of certain groups. This 40 inmates possibly could be gang affiliates, maybe the 2-5s, maybe the, I don't know, GBGs or whatever. Who knows, right? Who knows? We just making assumptions right here. But let's not forget that a couple of weeks back, they unalived a African American individual, right? Which this individual seemed to be, I don't know if they were like 2-5s, some kind of group, right? It was some kind of group, man. And possibly because of this thing could have happened, which I doubt it. Because if something was going to happen, it would have happened right there and then. Unless they were on lockdown for a minute, which I don't believe they do that anymore in CDCR. So it seems like out of this riot, only 6 people got injured, had puncture wounds. So 6 or 5 people. So 11 weapons gathered, and only 5 people got stabbed. I mean, that's pretty good, man. It seems like a lot of people were not doing what they're supposed to do with those weapons. But I would figure there'll be more people stabbed, right? At the end of the day, you are involved in a riot, in where you have people left, you have people right, and free for all, right? Against free for all, meaning against the opposition, right? So you can go for whoever. If you see your homeboy being attacked by somebody, just get him from the side and boom, move to the next person, right? You have to do the most damage that you can. And that's how people sometimes see it. It is sad to see this situation, man, especially for family members from the outside, hoping that their sons, their husbands, their brothers are doing okay, which we hope they're doing okay. So far, nobody has become alive, and that's a good news to the familias. Bad look on CDCR. But when it comes down to riots like this and this type of yards, man, you can't control it, because these individuals, they are on their own. They politic on their own, whatever cause they got, right? And this is what happens. Now, it seems like around 22 fire personnel responded to this riot, right? Usually they have so many people injured, they call assistance from the streets, to come and help, to transport inmates who are injured to whatever medical facilities out there, or help them treat them with whatever they need to do, right? Because there's a lot of inmates, the medical staff can become overwhelmed, right? And especially when somebody actually needs fast attention, you probably want to call the medicals from the streets, right, to help you with that. One thing I can tell you about riots when they do happen, man. Again, I don't know if I told you this, but I've been in places where there's been multiple riots, right? And sometimes people have to jump in because you know why, right? Which I'm not gonna get into details, but they start shooting with the bird, right? They start shooting with the bird. It's like boom, boom. That's a one shooter. Usually they don't use this in riots. When it comes to riots, they hit the code 3, right? So the cops usually go to this room and where they get dressed up with their gear, possibly chills, and a super big Berta, meaning that this Berta has like a round clips, right? Maybe around 12, 20, something around there, around that number, right? And that thing just shoots. Boop, 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 boop. And you can see that thing, if they're shooting from far away, you can see that thing just flying, like going towards you. And you could, if you're paying attention, you can, duck and make sure that thing doesn't hit you. If you're not paying attention, man, good luck, because that thing is going to hurt like crazy. Now, when it comes down to the Mini 14, right, which is going to be on the tower, or possibly if they're getting down on front of the yard, because this happened out there on the yard around 9:56. That means that they just open yard. I think they opened yard around 9:15. And when they use that Mini 14, that's when everybody fears this gun, right? You just hear a loud bang, and depending who's in that tower, it's gonna be, how lucky you are that day, right? Because sometimes you do have officers who are happy trigger, man. I've seen people just taking butt cheeks out, right? Or even heads, which is insane to witness that, but it happens. It happens, and this is why those places that get that much violent, people doesn't come out right in the mind, because they get exposed to certain things that maybe they didn't see in their lives, even though that a lot of people like to pretend, but maybe they didn't see that in their lives, and man, at that moment is like, it gets scary. Yes, it gets scary. I can admit that. You don't know who's gonna get hit, because you already know you're involved, and it's basically you taking a gamble. Like, damn, okay, I wonder who's gonna be the lucky. Not the lucky, the one with the bad luck, right? The one who that cop is gonna aim and possibly unalive them, right? So that's the fear of the riot, right? You are involved in it. You get all into it, but in the back of your mind, you know that they can use that Mini 14 and, trust me, blow somebody's cabeza. And that's what makes those riots crazy. And is for the cops to use that weapon is justifiable, right? So when it comes down to using weapons, that's when this happened. I've seen people using a cane, right? A cane, and just because of a cane, they got shot, even though 3 people were trying to attack them, right? So it's like insane. Again, these places are not fun to be at. We wish that whoever has family members right there, their family members are okay. And no matter what kind of yard it is, right? The danger is always going to be present. Sometimes yards like this can be more dangerous. Now, just trip on this. There's no riots and main lines no more, right? But there's still riots on the S and Y yard, which can make it more dangerous for individuals, whether people want to believe it or not, man. That's the honest truth, at the end of the day, man, any place in CDCR, level 2 all the way to a level 4 is a dangerous place, and it's something to be mindful of. People who are in these places, not everybody, but some of them who've been in those places that do make you cry, don't come back okay. You might see them like, that homie looks normal, but trust me, there's no normalcy. It's not like you get traumatized, none of that stuff, but it's more like the things that you have witnessed have changed something in you, And not only that, people have done stuff out on the streets that can make you callous to certain things. But man, just seeing somebody get shot with the Mini 14 close to you and just drop like boom, like the life was taken out of him is something insane to watch. And it happens. So it seems like they didn't use that Mini 14 right here. They actually, when it's a riot, they don't get involved. They usually throw more grenades and tell them to get down, and eventually they get down, depending how long it takes, right? So I don't believe, it says on the report that they spray them with agents. Well, they spray him with something, but I'm assuming it's gonna be the smoke bombs, the concussion grenades, and stuff like that. Because usually in a riot, the officers don't go down and spray individuals. I know you have seen videos of this, but trust me, in places in where I've been at, and where there's a riot, they usually do it from far away. Just throw grenades, shoot you with a mini Berta, and if it gets more crazy, they use the mini 14. So with this being it, we are out to next video. Hopefully you enjoy this story, man. To next one, don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Support the canal. Highly appreciate it, man. And tell me what you think about this, man. Because a lot of people seem to be like, man, that's a SNYR. Doesn't matter. But, I mean, what kind of news do you want to know? You want to hear prison news? Or you just want to hear some crazy-ass stories that sometimes are made by certain individuals? So, with this being it, we are out to next video. Muchas gracias.